Hey everyone, welcome to the Kids Inc. podcast. I am your host, Susan Yeager, and this is episode 9, part 1. I've got good news and bad news, guys. The bad news is we are almost done with our fabulous conversation with Jerry Sherrill. The good news is this part is not the last part of the conversation. So sit back, relax, crank the volume up, and let's listen to what else Jerry had to share with us.
Because of that,
Yep.
it's, I still live in the area actually. So we taped at KTLA.
Yeah.
And do they tape all seasons there? Or?
No, they were back and forth. Like fourth season was a tiny studio. I think it was called VPS. Fifth season was Sunset Gower.
Mhm.
And sixth season, the year I worked on it, it was back at KTLA.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. So I'm still in the same area. So when I drive by, I think about it. I think about the Arby's that's by KTLA.
Yeah.
So they would have lunch, obviously, brought in and stuff. But sometimes we wouldn't want what was there, and mostly Mario and I would ask our moms,
We go to Arby's.
"Oh, can we go to Arby's? Is it okay?" And they're like, they would be like, "Fine, you're going by yourself though."
Yeah, we're not walking.
They would literally let Mario and I walk the boulevard. So we'd walk out the other side of the set, which would lead you out, not on Van Ness, but whatever street that is. And we'd
Right.
wave to the security guards. We're like, "Okay,
Yeah.
we're coming back. So let us back on
Yeah.
to Arby's and have our Arby's and sit there and go back to the set."
I hope you weren't in wardrobe.
No, never in wardrobe during lunch.
Yeah.
No.
Funny thing about that Arby's, I was having a moment there one time. We got fed on tape days, but not rehearsal days. So I walked over and I'm sitting there and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm in LA and I'm working on Kids Incorporated and there's the Hollywood sign and it doesn't get any better than this. And I looked down, a homeless man was stealing my purse and putting it into a bag.
Yeah.
And all I could think of was I didn't have much money, but my apartment keys were in there and my camera, because this was film.
Right.
And I was going to lose all the pictures I had taken. And so I turned around and I was like, hey, because I thought I could take him, And he just handed it right back to me. And from then on, I always made sure I had it across my body. But that happened at that Arby's. Yeah.
that area, I mean, at that time and now, sadly, it's just gotten worse and stuff. But I just remember whenever I drive by that Arby's, I think about Mario and I begging that we would go there. Mario was such a crazy high energy kid. And I remember he was obviously really into wrestling and stuff like that. And I remember we were having a conversation. I was like, why dancing though? Yeah. Why would you get into dancing? And his mother chimed in and said, he has so much energy that I don't know what to do with him, that teachers suggested he take dance classes.
Wow.
And he just had, and then he's talented and good at it.
Yeah, super talented.
But he just had so much energy. He would always be, we would be going on to the other sets. He would have no problem. He's like, come on, Jerry, we're gonna go, I think it was Our Magazine or something filmed there with like Gary Collins. Go on the set. Hey, Jerry, I hear Morgan Fairchild's over at set number 32. Let's go over there today. We could see Morgan Fairchild, and we'd go over there.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tell someone you're leaving.
Yeah. Let us know when you're gone.
Yep.
One of the days that I worked on it, the usual rehearsal space, I played the music for the dancers as part of my job when I was on there. And they put us in the Love Connection studio, the back of the Love Connection. And I will never forget Brian Friedman, who went on to choreograph Britney Spears, I'm a Slave for You and all that.
Right.
He's up on with one of the other dancers and they're reading the cue cards like for Love Connection, just completely out of order. It was the funniest thing. So just having those other sets around were like, it was
interesting. And it's interesting that you say that even, the season that you were there, that you would use another set for dancing, because we did that for our season too.
Wow.
It was like, we were like a whole like yards and yards and sets away from the dance, what we call dance rehearsal, to where the soundstage was.
Yeah.
It was way far, but that's
You'd be
funny.
like, what are the dancers doing down there?
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I would just go and hang out and visit, you know, and
Yeah,
it's funny looking back in Durain, and I forget who the assistant choreographer was at the time too, but it's like they must have gotten a note somewhere, probably from Tommy, that I would need to move into the, you know, the teen idol status. And shortly
Oh.
after we started taping, they brought in weights for me.
No way. Are you serious?
And the assistant choreographer would teach me how to use the weights and stuff, because they were like, we've got to
That's
make this
amazing.
kid a teen idol. So there I was
Oh
at
my
14 with
gosh.
these weights.
I didn't realize there was a teen idol like boot camp or
It must have been. Well, someone knew. Well, it's funny because I have, let's see, I have, oh my God. Okay. So I found some old magazines,
Yes.
because like I said, my family kept everything. So here's a great Star magazine. I think
Star.
it's
Okay. See
Tommy
Thomas Howe. Yes.
cover.
Lovely.
Okay, wait. So here's Meet the Kids from Kids Incorporated.
Nice. Oh, and David Hasselhoff.
Yeah, David Hasselhoff.
Oh, this is a great picture of you up here. Yes. Yes.
And then there's a picture of Margaret. So we're trying to push the teens, you know.
Yes. Yes.
So that.
That's
no,
amazing.
There were other. Oh, here's one. That's there. There's me.
Oh, that's a classic Mickey shirt.
Yes, that's, you know what, that was my official the official publicity headshot.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha.
So I have a bunch of those in my closet
Yes.
somewhere. There's one where they were trying to push like me and Moosey to the teen magazines. Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. This is
So
great.
it's hysterical. So here's like Meet Kids Incorporated, or
Oh, nice.
Introducing Kids Incorporated. There's Moosey. There's me with the PR.
There's you.
There's a classic shot, of course.
Yes. Yes.
It's funny. So going into the show, like I knew who Moosey was. I knew the name,
Right.
and I knew his face, and I knew him because he had been in some teen magazines. I knew that he was on the Bob Newhart show because I knew that going into this show, and I was like, "Wow, Moosey Dryer is going to be on this show." Because he was in the teen magazine. I know, I couldn't believe it. It was like, wow, this is insane, you know?
That's crazy.
And it's, you know, looking back and seeing that we were in teen magazines and stuff like that, it's like there was some sort of effort to do something to bring this to the masses, and
right,
you know,
right.
Which is good to see. We did a lot of PR shoots. We did. There was always a photographer on set. I have some like this.
I see. Oh wow.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's the classic.
That's classic.
No, I don't have the red suit.
You don't?
No, because I never got back and got anything. The only thing I have is I have we
That's
must have worn,
crazy.
you know what, we must have worn it, I think, when we did like the Jerry Lewis telethon or something. And I have a aqua blue sweatshirt with a glitter lightning bolt down it.
Okay.
A pink with I think pink sleeves, and I think we all wore it and we sang on a telethon, and I kept the shirt. I never brought it back to the set because we had come from home just to the telethon and back home.
Yeah.
I have that in a box somewhere, and I have the shoes that I wore on the pilot, which were a spray painted pair of like Converse.
Oh my gosh.
I have those, but I do not have Mickey's boots. Either,
Oh,
which I basically wore nothing but the boots, so I was
right,
for that.
right.
We would always play with the wardrobe, who would tend to think more is more.
Yeah.
And the guy who did the wardrobe was a guy named Garland, and it was just so much. They wouldn't care. Us being kids, Rasan and I had a thing. We would play a game to almost see how much we can get away with.
Yeah, yeah.
How much junk can we put on us that they're not going to say anything?
Yeah.
So we did it with the handkerchiefs.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see sometimes literally I have one
around
here,
the neck,
one here. I would put one here.
around the leg.
Around my leg, because that was Chachi from Happy Days.
Okay.
And then I was like, oh, I'm going to put it around the opposite boot. So we would be like, how many do you have? 5? Oh, I got 6. 6. Where's the 6? Oh, I've got it taped in the back of the thing. On my belt loop.
Wait, I got to go get another one.
I know. And we would come out of the dressing room. They'd be like, okay, let us look at you. And I'd be like, okay, you're set, go. I'm like, you guys are totally going to let me wear like 6 of these right now?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, okay, fine, I don't care.
You're
But-
fine.
So here's a different headshot from a different photo
Let me see,
shoot.
let me
we did.
see. Oh yeah. I think I stole that one off the internet.
Well, this one I think I posted with me and Rasan.
Okay,
and he's,
maybe
like,
I
above
stole
me.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stole
So
that.
this, what's funny about this too is, and it's in all the shots and in all the shows, is I'm wearing an Italian horn necklace.
Yes. Yes.
They never asked me to take it off. They always
Wow.
let me wear it. I'm like, well, isn't that interesting? Like,
Was there a special meaning behind that?
well, I mean, I'm Italian, and
Yeah.
it was given to me from my parents when I was 13. So I was clearly still wearing it. When we were
Yeah.
13, you would get the Italian horn. So I got it, and I
That's
they
amazing.
never told me to take it off on set, which was really interesting. They never
That's
said
interesting.
can't wear that. You would think,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
interesting. Here's one.
Oh, I have never seen that one.
Yeah, we did this, and we actually
Oh.
used it. I have it
That's
somewhere.
amazing.
We made a ad in the trades. Marta and I, our parents and her parents, made an ad for the two of us in the trades with our agent on it, and that we were
Oh,
in Kids
nice.
Incorporated, kind of thing like that.
Yeah, congratulations.
one-
Yeah.
Okay, so I have envelopes and envelopes, and I went looking through them and
amazing.
actually opening them up last night, because I just took stuff from my parents' house, put
Yeah.
it away. Maybe I looked at it, maybe I didn't. So
Ah.
I've never seen this one until last night.
Oh, and that's a good one.
Yeah,
I love
Brooding.
that. Oh, you're very serious though. You're
very
like
serious.
very-
I clearly didn't know that I was being photographed.
yes.
I love
That's
also
a
you can
great-
see my ring light when I hold these up.
That is great though.
And maybe I posted this one, or maybe someone else did, or maybe it's just a screenshot somewhere. But it's
These
the
are
classic.
amazing.
This is the classic.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Is that
that's it.
sunglasses
Could
at
be
night?
sunglasses. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I
See the
love
belts. The belts.
that. I'm counting the bandanas.
Yeah, bandana.
Yeah.
The belts.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm wearing 2 belts that aren't even in the loops. The one around my leg. I've got
Which
the
explains
bandana.
why the belts kept falling off everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they were not in loops.
That's funny.
Yeah, they let us kind of do whatever we wanted. Of course, as long as we were wearing Jordache, at least that
Right, right.
season we were sponsored
Yes,
by Jordache
sponsored.
for their clothes.
Those are amazing pictures.
Yeah. I just have a lot of stuff I got to organize.
Yes, you got to go through. It's
I
really
know.
funny that you talk about not getting any of the wardrobe. It was one of the later years, like I want to say 8th season. A bunch of us fans were there for the taping, and they let the 8th season cast. They were just getting rid of everything, so they let the 8th season cast go through all the wardrobe and buy stuff for $5, whatever. And they came in when the cast was done, and they came to the fans, and they said, "Do you guys want anything?"
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
and of course, I went for all the Ryan stuff. Sorry, but I went for all the Ryan stuff. But one of our friends ended up with Stacy's purple dress with the slits. I mean, that's iconic.
Wow, that's a
Yeah.
good one. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
And then I think somebody ended up with Martika's yellow and red outfit.
Okay.
Yeah, the top.
Yeah.
And then I ended up with, I'm not sure if this was first season or second season. It may have been second. Renee had a completely sequined sweatshirt. I think it was second season.
Oh, interesting.
But she wore that a lot.
Yeah.
And I ended up seeing her a couple years later and giving that back to her
Oh,
because I was like, she has to have, you know what I have? That may have been second season. I have a Masked Mauler sweatshirt. Like, I just have the weirdest, most random things.
funny.
Yeah.
That is
But they sold it to us for like $5,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's great. though.
I don't even think by then the 8th season people, they just didn't have any idea. And we're just like, are you kidding? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, if you ever find out who has my red suit, tell them
Yes,
I knew it.
yes. I
Um,
will say, Jerry is putting the word out. Yeah.
Okay, so wait, here's a thing that they made for us to sign at different events and things. I'm sure you've probably seen this picture.
I have seen, but I don't know if I don't know if I've seen that one with the dancers or not.
Yes, the dancers and the,
Love that.
right. So they made this for all, it's just a little card for us to sign.
Yes.
And then, oh, here's me like in the hallway. So in the forefront is my mom.
Yes.
Then there I am wearing the red suit. That was Garland who did
I
the
remember
war.
Garland. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he did the work. So he designed all of that, and all that's glued on. The
Wow.
black stuff that's glued on. When I described the suit, I was just, it's a red parachute pant suit.
Yeah.
I would always wear parachute pants during that time. But what they did to it was like super glue and a hot glue gun and putting the stuff on it.
I didn't realize they had added to that. Like you don't think about
Oh
things
yeah,
like
no.
that.
It's all added fake. The piping with the all
That's
fake. That was not
crazy.
they made that, not
Oh,
bought that way.
I just never thought about that. That's crazy.
And then I have this, which of course I had posted. I had found some scripts. So I found a script.
Which one is that?
That's the X marks the spot.
Oh, okay.
But you could see, like, I wrote my Jerry Mickey at the very top.
Jerry Mickey. Oh.
And
Are there any notes in there?
I think it's just, I highlighted I think I would just highlight my lines, and then we would pretty much go, like I highlighted, but I think we would pretty much go directly to cue cards when we started rehearsing.
Right,
So they would, yeah. Oh, there are some things crossed out. It's funny.
Funny.
Yeah, I have. So in the season one, I don't know if they did this later, but between the five of us and the five dancers who were all so talented, and I, close with all of them. Of course, there was a pack of just like guys and girls being friends. I felt, probably because I was older, I was always looking out for Renee and Stacy. Wendy and Andrea were really tight, and then they were tight with Marta, and I was really close with Aaron and Mario and Rasan, of course. But anyway, the mothers were the glue.
Yes.
And you would get, so my mom, younger brother, older sister, you would get signed over to another mother.
Right.
For legal reasons, like, you're responsible for my son today. And so my mom wasn't there a lot during rehearsals. She would come to the tape days. But for rehearsals, like, my sister was 3 years older than me, and my sister was 16. My brother was like 5 years younger than me. So she's like running the family,
Right.
And she would sign me over mostly to Marta's mom, sometimes Mary Sands or whatever. But the mothers got together and they made our script covers. And so one of the mothers brought in, I don't know if it was Martha or who it was, brought in all the fabrics and all the arts and crafts and everything. So I picked out denim.
Yes, of course.
And they ironed on Jerry so that they knew that was my binder to hold the script. And then they made like the insides with the folders is all felt with the lining and stuff like that. And then we would just put our script in there. And so at least I know for the first season, we had that was made by our moms.
That is amazing.
Isn't that great? So like I said, kept all of this stuff and inherited all this stuff that's in a closet that is too scary. But
that's amazing.
I picked some stuff out last night. I really do need to. I need to eventually take a lot of this and get it digitized.
Yes.
I have even like I said, my old demos when Wild Orchid sang with me, and when I had the record deal at MCA in the 80s, like those are all on cassette. So I've got to start to transfer.
Yeah, I just started down that process. I'm still working on it, but I just want to, even the ones I have from like the season I worked on it. Yeah. Like I just want those on my iPod,
Right. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Clear.
Yes. Amazing. And the uncut versions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hasn't this been incredible, guys? I mean, those pictures, come on. And the iconic Mickey necklace. I mean, these are just answers to questions we didn't even realize we had, right? So this has just been amazing. Again, a huge thank you to Jerry Sherrill for sharing so much information with us, for preparing, pulling all these things out of the closet. This has just been fabulous. And I can't wait to see when he gets everything organized. I can't wait to see what ends up on his Instagram and his YouTube. Like, I am definitely going to be keeping an eye out for all that. But in the meantime, we will finish up this conversation in episode 9, part 2. You don't want to miss it. Keep your eye out for it, and we will see you soon. Hey guys, we would love for you to check us out on social media. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see more of. You can find us at facebook.com/Kids Inc. Podcast. twitter.com/Kids Inc. Podcast, and Instagram.com/Kids Inc. Podcast. Hope to see you there.